All right, guys, welcome back to Still Horse History Adventures. So the day that I've been waiting for is finally here. I'm about to load up on the bike, as you can kind of see it back there in the background. I've already got it packed up, ready to go, and I am about to head to Sheridan, Wyoming. I'm going to try to hit some of the historic spots along the way, but this is definitely the day I've been waiting for. I've kind of mentioned it a little bit, even though I know I've been gone for quite a bit. Some of you guys have been to Charleston and you've talked to me and you've heard me talk about going to Sheridan this summer. So this is the day. I'm about to take off and leave. Going to go meet up with a couple of my guys. I've already packed up the GoPro. It's threatening to rain right now, so I may or may not bring it out. So I decided to just go ahead and use the iPhone to actually record this part. But hopefully you guys get to join me for this journey. I'll try to post as much footage as I can within reason, right? Especially when it comes around to the historic sites. We're going to try to focus on a little bit of that. But hopefully we'll have a safe trip out there. See you guys on the road. So honestly, most of the morning here, we were actually quite dry, but sometime after we passed about Columbia, South Carolina, it kind of started looking like it was going to threaten to rain. We get up closer through Clinton and going on to Greenville, Spartanburg, and it starts kind of coming down. Not super hard, but then again, of course, it was still raining. We had actually stopped at one point thinking about putting on rain gear and then opted not to. Thought we'd be fine, and then we started going, and that's when it really started pouring down at that point. That was kind of unfortunate for us. We did not make that mistake again on this trip. So here we are riding into the Battle of Nashville Monument. This is erected in the honor of those who lost their life in the Battle of Nashville, spanning from December 15th to December 16th of 1864. We will see about 3,000 or so Union casualties here and about 6,000 or so Confederate casualties. The Union will have about double the number of men as the Confederates do going into this battle. This wasn't a very smart decision on the Confederate behalf and will ultimately result in a major loss for them. This will also be the last real major conflict of the Western theater of the American Civil War. Pretty much all fighting from this point forward is going to take place in the eastern coastal states until April of 1865, when the American Civil War has officially ended. The key players here are Major General George H. Thomas of the United States Army and Lieutenant General John Bell Hood of the Confederate States Army. So here we're walking through the park, headed up to the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. For whatever reason, a lot of people think this arch is much older than it actually is. If you take the time to go to it, go through the museum, you'll learn. It's actually started construction in 1963, finished up in 1965. I think part of the reason people think it's so much older is because we call it the gateway to the west, and for whatever reason people believe that means, well, it must have been there when we were going through the western expansion. People would have saw it on the horizon and knew that they were approaching the west. It's actually just a monument to the western expansion. It is also the world's tallest arch and the tallest man-made monument in the Western Hemisphere, standing at a whopping 630 feet tall. One of the things that I really wanted to see when passing through Kansas was to go to Topeka, Kansas and go to the Brown v. Board of Education National Historic Site. I actually planned the trip to pass through Topeka for this very reason. This is by far one of the most important decisions coming down from a court case in the American Civil Rights Movement. Occurring on May 17, 1954, by unanimous decision, the court will state that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. Desegregation will be awarded to the school system in America, and this will be a major, unprecedented victory for the African American community within the United States. So one of the things that we did on the trip that was kind of random is we went to Fort Riley, Kansas. We ended up getting to see the Custer house you're seeing photos of here. Even though Custer never actually lived in this house, he lived in a house right down the street that ended up burning down. They've set this house up to kind of give you an idea of the style of houses that were there that Custer would have lived in when establishing Fort Riley. But we do get an unexpected treat. The director of the museums there, he encountered us and invited us to come into the temporary museum they have set up since they are doing construction on the actual main museum building. And they were actually closed that day, but he opened it up specifically for us. So Mr. Bob Smith, absolutely 100% appreciated. Thank you so much for allowing us in. It was a wonderful time and so unexpected. We really treasured this moment and it really made the day. So here we're actually approaching the parking lot in front of the Chimney Rock natural feature in Nebraska. This is just like a really cool site that I wanted to go see. It's a natural rock formation out there. You actually see mention of it throughout kind of the expansion into the west. People going out in that direction would find Chimney Rock, make mention of it. It's kind of been a national historic monument, but it's a really cool land feature out there. I really wanted to see it. Unfortunately, we did show up at a time in which they weren't actually open, so we didn't go into the little gift shop there or any of that. We just got to kind of sit outside and take a look at it. Still a pretty cool thing to see though. This is one of the really cool rides we got to do on the trip up. Expect a full-length video for this later on. There were more roads in this area that we really could have utilized, and hopefully one day I get to go back and actually do it. But we were on a bit of a time crunch, so we just stayed on the main one. I feel like the first thing I absolutely have to say here, of course, is the Black Hills in South Dakota is among one of the most beautiful places in this country. If you've never been, take the time, take a trip out there, explore the Black Hills, go see Mount Rushmore. This place is absolutely amazing. Mount Rushmore, of course, was definitely a big item on my list. I've never been there before this trip, and I absolutely had to go. So we planned the trip, went right past it, and decided to go ahead and stop, obviously. Now, Mount Rushmore itself, originally commissioned in 1925, despite heavy dispute and heavy opposition from the Lakota, a tribe of the Sioux Nation, who really considered the Black Hills to be sacred ground, and it's obvious that they didn't want this to happen. However, the authorization goes through, construction begins in 1927, and officially ends in 1941. One of the big bucket list items for me was to be able to go to Deadwood, South Dakota. Of course, go there and see the Wild Bill Hickok grave, which is what you're seeing here. You're going to see the stuff that people put out there. Of course, there's going to be aces and eights, the dead man's hand, which is what he's holding when he is killed. This was always a big deal for me because when I was a kid, I would read Westerns and I would listen to these audiobooks that were all Westerns, and many of the settings there revolve around Deadwood, South Dakota. When the HBO show came out, I was a big fan of it. Of course, I always read things about Calamity Jane as well, and Seth Bullock. So I really wanted to go there. I wanted to see their graves. I wanted to see Deadwood, so I had to plan the trip to pass through. Of course, I went and drank right outside of where Wild Bill was shot here. Had to have a drink there, of course, a toast to him. But this is a big bucket list item for me, and I was absolutely loving the fact that I got to do it.
get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it out the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. Different summer, different car keys. I'm the life of the party. Might buy a bike like a Harley. Totally do so gnarly. God got me, can't harm me. I got armor and an army. Battle scars, battle smartly. Just forever like a Sharpie. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. 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 Never going.
So after leaving Sheridan, Wyoming and starting our journey back, we decided to go ahead and stop off at Devil's Tower. If you've never been there, definitely take the opportunity to go. We didn't want to go into the actual park itself. It was a really long line waiting to get in there. So we decided to take pictures of it from a distance. Really cool to go and see. Many of y'all will probably recognize it from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as it's the setting for the movie. Really awesome thing to be able to go and see, and very happy that I stopped off to check it out.
gonna stay in this moment, gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely, I am finally home at last. And I don't mind being gone on adventures for a while. No, no. 'Cause the best thing about it is I know I'm coming back. Oh, oh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, I have seen many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back. But I don't have to be chasing every dream that I have. Oh, no. 'Cause the thing is, I've got more love here than I can bear. Ooh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
All right, guys, well, that's it. 11 days, 4,419 miles later, I'm back home. I'm gonna be honest, that was probably one of the absolute coolest things I have ever done. To be able to ride my motorcycle from Charleston, South Carolina to Sheridan, Wyoming, to meet up with a whole bunch of people who were a lot like me, right? That was just an amazing time. I'm also going to encourage you guys, definitely, as you'll see with this video, and the other videos that I'm putting out, if you have not taken the time to travel around this country, to get out of our 9-to-5 routine, to leave work for a little while and do the best that you can to get out there and just see some stuff, I encourage you to do so. Being able to drive across the country on a motorcycle was just an eye-opening experience into how beautiful this country truly is. I mean, I saw sights that were absolutely jaw-dropping, right? You get to drive through areas where you see buffalo just kind of hanging off to the side of the road. It was just an amazing experience all around. But I can tell you, after 4,419 miles,
Well, I am glad to be home. I'm ready to get in here, sit down, and just take it easy for probably about the next 24 hours. I'll probably be editing some videos in the process of that. But hey guys, I hope you enjoy all the content that's coming out of this trip. I know I enjoyed making it. I want to shout out a big thank you to all of my friends who went with me, all the ones who met us up there in Sheridan, Wyoming. A couple to mention who were actually on the trip with me. My friend Easy, friend Big Papi, and Chickens went out with us. And of course we had more people who met us out there. I know I'm saying road names, but you guys know who you are. Thank y'all for joining me on that. Absolutely one of the best times of my life. More than happy to have done that, and more than happy to be home. So till next time guys, you guys check twice, save a life, be good to each other.